Good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we examine headlines from our city, our state, our country. We combine them with your questions, your ideas, and your suggestions on how to best connect with our city, Puerto Vallarta, as a community of English speaking locals. It is Saturday, November 27, and it is a great day to be here. Oh dear, yes, I see some comments that touch me already. And yeah, yeah, we'll get to that, Rita. We'll get to that in a second. Anyhow, today, as always, we have a good combo of good news, sad news, important news, and news that will make our eyes roll. But before we go there, as always, if this is your first time joining us, feel free to let us know by writing the word new in your comment, and that way we'll be able to give you a nice little welcome. And if you have something particularly important that you wish to share with us today, I'm keeping track of your comments, and we will get to your comments at the end of the broadcast, but it helps us a great deal if you can add the letter Q to your comment, and that way we will know that you're hoping for an answer from us, from Luna and myself. Luna is actually over there taking a chill day in bed. Yesterday was a chill afternoon for me. It was really a wonderful day. I had all kinds of things to do, but here at home. So right after coffee and headlines, I whipped together a huge batch of soggy and wonderful chicken chilaquiles, and that's pretty much all I ate yesterday. Oh, nice to hear that the volume is fine, Tony. Thank you very much. Yes, I think sometimes I think that my sound mixer is ready to be replaced or something because it goes on its own mindset. But we're not even going to waste time talking about that. Anyhow, let us dive into the news and take it from there. We'll take a look at your comments after the second half of the broadcast. For starters, you may want to know that on a day like today, but 42 years ago in 1979 to be precise, Jalisco Governor Flavio Romero de Velasco came to Puerto Vallarta to inaugurate the brand new Rio Cuale Municipal Market, the same one that we know and love, and the same one that was damaged and subsequently evacuated after Hurricane Nora passed through the region a couple of months ago. We've been keeping track of the vendors that were temporarily relocated to Parque Hidalgo. And if we fast forward to today, the vendors have been relocated back to the Cuale market, but not all of them. Needless to say, work is still being done to bring back the market to its original state. So some of the vendors will actually remain on the street on nearby Encino Street until their shops are ready. And of course, we learned an interesting fact in this article that we're taking a look at today. one of the reasons why vendors had been reluctant to return to the Rio Quale market is because the work that remains to be done on their individual shops has to be done by them. That must be part of the original agreement. So I can understand why some of the vendors don't want to deal with that when they were, stationed at Parque Hidalgo making all kinds of money and not having to worry about financing their own repairs. But that is over. So the city has removed parking on Encino Street and part of Matamoros Street to allow vendors to be able to set up there temporarily. Hopefully the vendors will do what they are supposed to do, and they have some kind of a deadline, because also, if you have your shop ready to go, or it is your responsibility to get your shop ready to go, why should you be occupying a parking spot at the same time? My question for you, though, is the following: is this a walking Wednesday? Would you like to enjoy it? If so, let me know by writing the word "quale" in your comments, and I can go take a look with cameras and microphone just to see exactly what it's looking like at the market these days. As we mentioned yesterday, 10,000 doses of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine will be available at La Lija this coming Monday and Tuesday for minors between 15 and 17 years of age only. It is recommended that minors show up with their parents or guardians, and vaccines will be available between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. on both days, unless, whoa, lots of quales. Okay, now we know where we are walking for this coming week's Walking Wednesday. Anyhow, back to vaccines. Vaccines are available for minors. As always, you should pre-register and download your vaccine paperwork if you're taking your kids to get vaccinated. And that was that. The next piss. Well, that was a Freudian slip. The next piece of news, apparently the airport finally got the memo and has assigned more customs personnel to help alleviate the long lines and waits international tourists must endure when arriving in Puerto Vallarta. I hope someone suggests them to set a reminder on their 2022 calendar sometime in the middle of October so they can plan accordingly. There's no reason, if they know that international tourism starts rising at the beginning of November, there's no reason why they couldn't or shouldn't plan accordingly. Another construction project is denounced for causing constant water leaks, this time in Colonia Díaz Ordaz along España Street, where apparently the construction company has placed makeshift speed bumps on the street, concealing pipes under them, directing constant water flow elsewhere, and this has been going on for months. This almost makes me want to roll my eyes, but I'm saving the eye roll for something even more spectacular coming up in just a few minutes. But first, let's take a look at the weather for the weekend. Snarky weather thinks that there's a cloud in the sky that looks like a pregnant hippopotamus. Fair enough. Our temperature right now, 26 degrees, feels like 28. Humidity is at 68%. And for Fahrenheit fans, our temperature is 79 degrees. Our weather forecast for today, Saturday, it'll be a mostly cloudy day with a high temperature of 30, low temperature of 21. Tomorrow, Sunday, we will have a humid and partly cloudy day with a high temperature of 32, low temperature of 21. And we will begin this coming week with a humid and partly cloudy day with a high temperature of 31 and a low temperature of 19. Let's see what else we have. Just as an FYI, we had mentioned 2 concerts to take place in town in the following days that had not received proper authorization from Jalisco's Health Board. I'm happy to report that both concerts have been approved, the first one being this coming Sunday by rapper Santa Fe Clan, and the second one being by Pancho Barraza a week from today at the Convention Center. In case you want to go to either one of these concerts, there you have it. And now for our eye-rolling segment of the day. Here is Father Jesus Alfredo Gallegos Lara, a priest in the state of Michoacan, that is also known as Padre Pistolas or Father Guns, due to his controversial sermons. Not pistolas in this context, just as an FYI, doesn't mean that he uses guns for violence. To call somebody pistolas is more referring to the fact that that person is in charge. So he puts out controversial sermons, which are apparently available on YouTube. And his latest sermon went viral for all the wrong reasons. Here's some context. The United Nations General Assembly has designated November 25 as the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. So the past few days have been colored by articles and commentary to that effect, not only in Mexico, but elsewhere around the world. And of course, marches by women promoting this important awareness. And of course, Father Gallegos had something to say. And here is the part where I scroll to show you some of his truly memorable statements. For starters, he says that women should stay home and make tortillas instead of marching for the elimination of violence. He says, stay home and make tortillas, make agua fresca, make sopes, make tamales. Learn how to be real women. That's what the good father said. We all have a right to manifest. There is no problem. You know, protest everything you want, but don't break any glasses. The women even have weapons. They have torches. Instead of winning people's love and respect, you end up being hated. I love you very much, but don't do chingaderas. And that is what our friend Father What's His Face said. And this is where we cue our new alter ego. There you go. Seriously. And you know what the sad part? You know what the sad part of this is? People listen to statements like this. And for better or worse, this is a reality of Mexico. I'm sure of many places where lack of more informed education creates this questionable connection between individuals that mean well. I'm sure Father Pistolas does not mean any harm. But seriously, I saw a comment go by just a second ago. Oh, there you go. It was Dave. Someone needs to introduce this padre to the 21st century. I say, no shit. Moving right along. Yes. My dear Logan was quick to let me know of a restaurant that has just reopened in the market, in the Rio Cuale market. Not the Rio Cuale market, the Emiliano Zapata market. It is called Quebola. And it is a Cuban restaurant. They have apparently just reopened. I didn't even know the restaurant from before. So if you enjoy Cuban food and Cuban tortas, apparently this is the way to go. I haven't been, but Logan recommended it. And if you have been there, please let us know so that we can look forward to this particular outing. Before we turn on to your comments, I would like to share a very unrelated but very important personal tribute. And this is, this is hard. Anyhow, I present you three amazing ladies, Christine Baranski, Audra McDonald, and Meryl Streep. I hope you recognize these names. And if you don't, I'll guide you through some of the things that they have in common. All three of them have wowed us on stage and screen. And by screen, I mean the big one and the TV one. Also, all three of them enjoy a close friendship with maverick American Broadway composer Stephen Sondheim and have been casting his productions at some point or another. Baranski was Clarice in the original off-Broadway production of Sunday in the Park with George, and Mrs. Lovett in the Sondheim Celebration production of Sweeney Todd. Audra McDonald has appeared in two live from Lincoln Center productions of Sondheim musicals, Passion and Sweeney Todd. And of course, we love Meryl Streep as the witch in the film adaptation of Into the Woods. I read somewhere that the three of them have a tradition of taking out Mr. Sondheim for his dinner, for a birthday dinner in New York City. Can you imagine being a fly on the wall at the restaurant where these four individuals have dined? Last year, the Broadway world was looking forward with much anticipation to Stephen Sondheim's 90th birthday celebration, a star-studded concert that was to gather the creme de la creme of Broadway performers to pay tribute to the one and only. But Broadway had just gone dark because of the pandemic. And much of the performing world around the world went dark because of the pandemic. So what did we do? We went online to try to express ourselves, to make a living, to ask for tips, to connect with one another using whatever tools we had at our disposal. We roughed it up with our iPhones and headphones, with our lack of technical knowledge about live streaming and the internet's own foibles. And some of us have managed to prevail. In the midst of it all, in the midst of this chaos, and in a matter of just a few days, take me to the world, as Sondheim 90th birthday celebration became a virtual celebration, performed live online on April 26, 2020, a date that coincided with the 50th anniversary of the opening night of the original production of Sondheim's Company. In fact, the 2020 Broadway revival of Company was originally slated to open on March 22nd on Sondheim's actual birthday. Stephen Sondheim's 90th birthday celebration was no exception to those early excursions in live streaming and technical challenges. It was flawed and it was precious. And from that celebration, I will leave you with a YouTube performance by these three ladies of Ladies Who Lunch from Company. Each of them performed with only a cell phone and only headphones to guide them. They performed from their homes with a band that accompanied them from a different location. And I don't think we will ever see a performance as unique and precious and once in a lifetime as this one, just as we won't see a composer as unique and precious as Stephen Sondheim, the one and only, who died peacefully at home yesterday after having celebrated a peaceful Thanksgiving with family and friends the day before. So consider enjoying this music today in celebration and some of his music in the future. The upcoming theatrical release of Steven Spielberg's retelling of West Side Story, the collaboration between composer Leonard Bernstein and Stephen Sondheim as lyricist, will take a completely new meaning, and the film is slated to open at Cinépolis on December 9 with the title that was given to the original production in Spanish, Amor sin barreras, or Love Without Barriers. Rest in peace, Stephen Sondheim. And now, and of course that video will be in your show notes. Woo! Emotional. But what a legacy Mr. Sondheim leaves behind. And if you are not familiar with his work, consider taking some time in your lives learning about Stephen Sondheim. And now to your comments. Happy Saturday morning to the cluster. Hope everybody had a wonderful beginning to a great weekend. Albert, thank you very much for that. We're doing just fine over here. And once again, thank you for that, Rita. The world will not be the same without Stephen Sondheim. Absolutely. Question. Oh, we saw that one before. Volume is fine, says Tony. I see myself clipping. See, I always concern myself with the volume levels because they have to be high enough for you to be happy, but not so high that they're distorted. but I think we're doing fine. It says someone asked where PTL was on another board. I shared the link to Coffee and Headlines from yesterday with them. Thank you. Well, thank you back, Ed. Sometimes I wonder why it seems to be so challenging for people to go into Google Maps and just type things. But why do I know? But thank you for making that connection. I hope you enjoyed yesterday. Yesterday was a lot of fun. Let's see what else. Oh, Matthew. Yes, I know. I know. Stephen Sondheim. It is a good day to play his music. Lots of quale. So we know where we're going on Walking Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. I'll make it a lunch Walking Wednesday so that we can see what's going on with the mercado inside. Quale, and along the Quale, you could make a trip to the garbage dump interesting. Okay, fair enough. I will. You haven't mentioned which garbage dump. I could look at my kitchen. There's a garbage dump in there. Where is my little boom? There you go. Let's see what else we have. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Oh, Jill's coming back home from a beautiful trip to Ciudad de Mexico and Oaxaca. How wonderful. Come back with great stories. And then your comments about Father What's His Face. I love it. Oh, yes. Bucerias Roy Hardy says, love Cuban food. Well, there you go. Cubano sandwich, have to check it out, says Tony. You know, that restaurant is dangerously close to one of the shops where I buy yarn, so I'm going to have to check it. Absolutely. Let's see what else we have. Mark Jennings wows me by saying, I'm lucky enough to have worked with all three of them. Great women. Well, I bow in your general direction, Mark. I don't know exactly what you did with them, but you were absolutely right. These are three ladies that I so shamelessly admire. And Sherry, you're going to love it. You know, this particular clip, what I love about the clip is that it really is a slice of our reality. I mean, remember when the pandemic just started and we all started going online with whatever equipment we had? I mean, how crazy. And it was just last year. Tony says, we'll be watching West Side Story today. Never get tired of it. I don't know where you're watching from, Tony. The new version of it has not opened yet here in Puerto Vallarta. It opens in December. Logan and I saw trailers for it the other day when we went to the theater, and of course, it's in the hands of Steven Spielberg. What could possibly go wrong? I only hope that Spielberg was able to share his film privately with Stephen Sondheim before his passing, because what a tribute. And with those thoughts, I think we're reaching the end of today's broadcast. I'll have you know that this week I've been doing a lot of research on how to effectively bring back interviews to our program without making it too complicated for the interviewees. So we're getting close to a point of enlightenment, so I'm really excited about that. We are almost done scheduling the Ley Lines interview. You have expressed interest with Logan and his woes and adventures with recovering his immigration papers here in Puerto Vallarta. So these two interviews are in the works, along with all kinds of more content for the days that are coming up. So stay in touch. Stay close to Coffee and Headlines. And for those of you that take the time to spread the word about Coffee and Headlines elsewhere, I couldn't be more grateful, because that is a great way for people to learn how much fun we're having here. So have a great weekend, and I will see you again next week, hopefully. Stay kind, stay happy, and stay in touch.